by other people? Did y'all write your own poetry?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. That's exciting. It's better than reciting other people's poetry, which as an actor is something that's what I do. I don't really write my own stuff. I just recite other people's stuff. And it's a lot better than the stuff I would write.
Should be good. Let me just double check. Can you just talk a little more?
Yeah, I'm talking now.
Okay.
And this is what happens when you talk into a microphone.
This is good.
Test, test. The volume. Walking, talking.
Yes, keep talking.
All right, excellent.
Yes. Cool. All right. Rating your own stills. Yes, rating your own stills.
Are you going to give me a countdown, or are we good to go? We're golden. All right, folks, we are doing a poetry slam. We'd like to thank Miss Livingston for putting all this together. In a poetry terms, we always show our appreciation by snapping instead of clapping. So can we get some snaps for Miss Livingston for putting this poetry slam together? So we're so happy that you can join us today to celebrate National Poetry Month and to support our extremely talented and brave poets. It takes a lot of courage to get up here in front of your peers and recite poetry that you've written. We ask that you silence cell phones, don't talk during the performances, and most importantly, have fun. Now we talked about the snapping rules, so let's make sure that we do snapping. If you can't do snapping, then jazz hands will count. But I can tell you up here with the spotlight on me that we're not going to be able to see those, so just send some positive vibes this way. All right, quote from Robin Williams: "We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are human." And that's a nice profound quote from our good friend Robin Williams. We're members of the human race. Our first poet, if you want to start snapping along, is Abby Hurley. I'll pass the microphone. You have this area over here. Good luck.
A deep cut seeps blood till it is wound up, and the flow is stubbed like a cigarette nub, and the aching pain will go away, and so they say. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. You've all heard the phrase. But cuts scab over, and bruises fade. We can put on a plaster, we can numb the pain. But how do you stop the invisible throb, the relentless voice that seeks to destroy the pain that you can't pinpoint? This time, we can't put on a plaster, and we can't numb the pain. Me. They tell me to forgive, they tell me to forget. They tell me to let live, but then won't I regret? Forgive, forget, let live, regret. No. I have learned through the twists of time how to release the demons and keep my heart mine. I'll bury my hatchet, the axe that struck my heart, and all the pain that it inhabited. And so although I'll keep the mark, my hatchet becomes seeds. Sunflowers mark their place. The flowers flourish. My heart does too. I won't forgive, and I won't forget. I may let live, but I won't regret. For I have my garden, to which I will love and care for. It will grow, I will grow. As it grows, I grow.
Well done, well done. Thank you, Abby. That was fantastic. Our next poet, Henry Weston.
Good morning, my name is Henry Weston, and I shall be performing 3 poems I wrote. My first is called An Ode to Mark Weston, my father. Mark Weston, an amazing man, I hope you'll agree, for his dad brings me nothing but glee. He is kind and as smart and as wise as can be, even though he once drove into a tree. His advice is incredible, helping my great life. His advice has given me everything, not even strife. What I'll do, where I go, who I meet, I have no idea. But if I ever need help, I'll ask the perfect guy. Ode to the Vandegrift Library by Henry Weston. My favorite place at school to hang out, the Vandegrift Library without a doubt. But books upon books, all subjects galore. Once you step in, you'll surely want more. Librarians are kind, their knowledge is great. The ones at our library are for sure first rate. From Miss Roberts and Miss Livingston, Miss Lopez so kind, they also help with expanding your mind. So whenever you want a place to chill, pick the Vandegrift Library, it'll be a thrill. My last poem today is called My Autism. Autism, a beautiful and horrible thing it can be, has impacted many people, including me. A disorder or disability that is not what it is, it's a way to express yourself, to discover yourself. At first I thought that my autism was a burden to those around me, but now I realize it brings those people pure glee. My autism has brought me many things in life, but it also brings to me the issue of strife. These things I struggle with at times, always worrying with no rest, but I try to remember the good things, which are always the best. So before I leave you to ponder what autism means to you, I ask you to wonder how I feel too.
That was fantastic, Henry. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Shayla Robas. All right.
Students, you should be in pit at this time. Today is a B day, and that means it is 7th period pit. If you are not in your 7th period, it should mean that you have portaled elsewhere and are in that pit at this time. If not, we will be walking through the halls and clearing them. Please make sure you are in your pit assigned period. Teachers, please make sure you're not letting students out of the classroom for the first or last 10 minutes of pit, and if you let them out in the middle, they have a pass, and it is one at a time. Thank you.
Can we just give us some snaps for Ms. Toon there for that announcement? All right.
I wish they were healed. That way I didn't break my own heart trying to hold yours. And I wish that your last didn't hurt you. That way your wounds wouldn't bleed onto my skin. I wouldn't cry for a person I couldn't save. Learning the hard lesson, I couldn't expect you to stay in love with me if you weren't in love with yourself first. I wish that when I would tell you you're beautiful, you wouldn't think I was just talking about your body. We could ask what beauty really is, and that it lies in the eyes of the beholder. Meaning beauty doesn't exist and is created by the observer. But you were the beauty that existed, and I want to be the holder. Holding you until you understood that you were worth every compliment, every gift, every ounce of effort poured from my heart into yours, overflowing with the affection I was never given. Go back in time to hug your inner child with wide eyes and innocent smiles before the trials and tribulations of your own family got to you. Acting on the late night conversations and the what ifs before they turned into I should have and I could have. And I wish you didn't doubt my attempts to show you I wouldn't give up on you or on us. Didn't doubt when I said I love you, and praying to God I wasn't even sure it even existed, in hopes you would make it. We would suddenly beat the system through all the odds. The fact that we are young doesn't mean we aren't mature, and I can't point out love, but I can. Raising my finger, and it points to you, but it means nothing against your hand that blocks it out. And I can't shout louder over the walls you built up, so instead I sat outside it, holding on to the residuals, waiting for the day you might peek over it. You didn't, and I wish you did.
That was fantastic. Next up, we have Olivia Jacobs.
Starlit skies can cross my mind. I ponder them at better times, when existence doesn't seem pulverized by ache and inauthenticity. Thou rose today like thee once did, eternally lives an unspoken bid. Septuagenarian is the expected role. What's to realize is that it's only average. For 40 years may come and go, and Thanatos comes early and takes his toll, and yonder can no longer be explored, and the red herring seems more of an answer. For what should one execute in their time on this floating rock? Maybe fervor is the gift humanity was endowed with, a longing, beating, writhing sense of purpose. But many have found it to be mislaid. Yes, starlit skies can cross my mind when life isn't held by a saturnine quiet.
Well done, well done. Well, thank you so much. Let's give another giant snaps, big snaps for all of our poets. It takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of bravery to come up here, and those are some really moving and inspiring poems. So thank you so much for sharing those with us. We very much appreciate it. So we'd like to give a few shout outs for some people that have helped out to make today possible. First of all, thank you, Mr. Davis, for setting up the lights and the sound for this event. Thank you to AV crew for streaming our performances and being the film crew for this event. And thank you for the audience. Give yourself some snaps for that. And last of all, thank you performers for sharing your time and your efforts with us. We very much appreciate you being here and supporting poetry for National Poetry Month and the great work of our students. Thank you. I'm going to pass the microphone now to Ms. Livingston. I didn't do a darn thing.
So you can't have nice things.
Press the power button again. Let's see if it continues.
Hello? Cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much for participating and for coming through to celebrate our students and the works that make them special. I do have Viper Cafe that's going to come through with some snacks, or I don't know if they're bringing snacks, but they're probably going to bring some coffee for you guys. So if y'all want to hang out, we're going to turn back on the lights and we're just going to spend the rest of our pit in here. But again, thank you guys for spending the time with us. We appreciate you. Give yourself some snacks.